Coming up on this episode of Latinas, we'll celebrate Pride Month, learn how to save on the high cost of eggs by raising chickens at home, and so much more. Latinas starts now. Welcome to Latinas, the show that's all about nosotras, created by nosotras. And I'm Tina Beth Pina. It's summertime in New York City, and we're here for it. And you know what else we're here for? Roller skating. It's not just making a comeback, it's becoming a bold form of self-expression and cultural pride. The Liberty Girls, a queer and Afro-Latina skating crew, are leading the way using their wheels to build community and reclaim space. Correspondent Isabel Ortiz has the story.
Ariel, Karen, and Melody started as solo skaters, but their paths kept crossing at skate sessions. What began as spontaneous meetups turned into a sisterhood. And from that, the Liberty Girls skating crew was born.
It was very organic, which is funny because we would come to sessions kind of dressed alike, wearing similar clothes, and we're like, oh, we didn't plan to match, but we're matching today. And after a while, our bond got stronger. We decided to go on different skate trips.
We saw each other all the time, and we had the same morals and same values and same vision for what we want to see roller skating be. So we were like, we're on these trips, let's collectively come together and form a team.
For the Liberty Girls, skating is a rolling act of activism. Every spin, glide, and groove is a way to spread awareness for the causes they believe in.
So we're bringing the joy of roller skating to social justice issues that we care about, and we're using that joy to continue to spread positivity. We are women of color, we are queer, we are definitely marginalized in lots of aspects of life, and that isn't excluded to skating. So issues that we face are like being harassed, and as a queer person, you're not always safe. We create safe spaces for people that identify like us and everyone that is an ally to come together to be safe and supported.
The Liberty Girls aren't just skating for fun. They're keeping a legacy alive. From city streets to roller rinks, Black and Latinx communities have shaped New York skating culture for generations. Now, these women are carving out a space of their own.
Roller skating has been part of our culture, especially in New York City, for decades, and it really became prevalent when, during civil rights, when there was segregation going on. Roller skating was very appealing and joyful and for everyone, and it was a space for marginalized groups to come together and to just forget about what was going on in the world, instead see eye to eye and just spread more of that love and joy.
Under the rink lights and disco balls, the music is the heartbeat of skating. It's not just a soundtrack. It drives the rhythm, connecting them to their Afro-Latina roots and to each other.
All the races, all the sexes, all the ages, everyone is together, and I feel like that also makes it feel like church. And then it's the feeling that you get when you're there and you're all together and you're all on the same beat, listening to the same music, and you're skating off of each other.
The house world, the house culture of New York and New Jersey is transcendent through not only Black music, not only African music, Puerto Rican, Dominican, cumbia, bachata, salsa, merengue, all of that music comes from the same place, comes from Africa, and that is what unites us.
The Liberty Girls are reigniting a movement. Every skate session pushes limits, sparks connection, and carves out a new legacy.
The legacy that we want to leave for Liberty Girls is to continue to push our message, which is to be free, to connect, to create community, and not to forget about like where you come from, but also like to keep challenging yourself.
For LATINAS, I'm Isabel Ortiz.
Barbara Herr is breaking new ground as the first trans Latina to take center stage in the theater world. This fierce community leader and advocate for trans rights has fully transitioned and is openly living as the woman she was always meant to be. Get ready to meet today's Inspiración Latina.
Did you say I got a lot to learn? Well, don't think I'm trying not to learn.
I'm Barbara Herr, and I am an actress.
Perfect spot to learn.
As a boy, I was a very shy young man. But when I was Barbara, I was a whole other person. And I liked that person.
Right down to the X, Y, Z of it.
My mom was a country woman from Puerto Rico. So she wasn't very worldly when she first came to New York. She came here, she was 18. She had my dad, they got married, and she had 2 boys. I was the youngest. So my mom was very, very, very supportive. She immediately got me enrolled in voice classes. But before I graduated, my mother passed away. Like the driving force behind me, because since she supported me in everything artistic that I did, it was gone. And so I was lost. And my dad, he wasn't very supportive of it. Because when I started performance, I started as basically a drag queen. That's what I did. And he didn't understand how anyone got paid for lip syncing to someone else's voice. He just said that it's ridiculous. When I started, being transsexual was unheard of. They existed, but they were banned. So it was very difficult. And I always knew that that was my identity, but I always kept it quiet. And I had started my transition, and I couldn't do it in Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico is very, very transphobic. Transphobia is even worse than misogyny. It's misogyny plus a whole lot of other things. And then on top of that, I'm Latina. Eventually, I came to New York because this was the only place where I knew I could transition calmly and blend into society. And even then, it was still difficult here as well. I wasn't doing it, but most transsexuals were limited to prostitution, which is what they did. But as an actor, I was having a very, very hard time. It wasn't until recently, when Pose came out, you know, that they started for mainstream TV. And in my case, I was the first trans Latina to present a play that I wrote and that I acted in a theater in New York City. And so I'm right now, it's still 7, 8 years later, the only trans Latina actress who actually does any work in the theater. So I have broken barriers, and I hope for others to come. We deserve to be seen and heard because trans stories need to be told by trans actors.
Oh God, and the makeup. Did you see the makeup? She is the perfect example that if you don't like your face, you just paint a new one on top of it.
So once I started transitioning and I was able to be who I am, then everything changed. My personality changed. My attitude towards life changed. Depression goes away. And all of this came late in life. It wasn't like I was having it early because I started transitioning late. I started late because I wanted to be sure. I didn't want to just go in and have sex reassignment surgery and then regret it. And it wasn't until 2017, and I was 62. And I was like, yeah, I guess it's never too late to be who you truly are. And I needed to be, in my heart, I needed to be complete. I could not just be half and half. So I would tell my trans kids to take a deep breath and to focus on who they are and to continue living their lives with pride, Always, always resisting everything that they throw at us, because we will get through it. Because I am not leaving this country because somebody doesn't like me. So no, we'll fight back. We'll be fine. We will be fine.
It's that time of year when college students and recent grads start thinking about getting their first job or internship. We're about to hear from 3 jefas who will share some tips on setting yourself up for career success on today's Caliente Caliente.
This is what I would say to, college students. Do your research. Internships, they are crucial. You need to test the water.
It's just getting that foot in is what's going to make you realize what you really want to accomplish.
And I agree that when I was going to college, I did summer internships, and I was able to find that for me also, mid-size or small firms were the best for me.
For new graduates entering the workforce, you need to be open to learn new things. You cannot be boxed. Oh, I was hired to do this. This is the only thing that I am willing to do.
When I worked with the higher education, I was doing all the jobs that were available because I just wanted to learn. I was curious, and that opened up opportunities for me to be promoted and go up the ladder.
We can never stop learning. For me, as a CPA, I need to learn the rules, regulations. I need to be up to date.
If you stop learning, you stop living. That's the way it is.
That's the reality. I want to say this also, work ethics. Be on time.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Pay attention. Keep track of your calendar. You're going to be given an opportunity. If you got the door open for you, show who you are.
And also finding those mentors, those role models that are going to allow you to bring that best version of you. The people you surround yourself with, it's also going to open up doors for you. And it is really the encouragement that I give our college students.
Right? Sometimes there's this core group that they stay together and they elevate each other. So that's why I always feel community is important. We're on a journey all the time, and challenges are always going to be there. It's how we create our foundation so that when we hit these challenges, we're able to sustain ourselves.
I want to tell to college students, realize your value. You are valuable.
Yes.
Trust in yourself. You're going to find people looking for you. In every college, you're going to have the recruiters looking for talents.
So it's about polishing those skill sets, creating connections, finding those mentors that are going to let you see the value of who you are and the skill sets that you bring in.
There is so much opportunity, and everything is possible.
Racial disparities are apparent when it comes to gynecological health, and correspondent Elena Romero is about to take a closer look at how uterine fibroids and polycystic ovary syndrome, also known as PCOS, are affecting Latinas and what we can do to prioritize our well-being.
For years, New York City teacher, florist, and active marathon runner Jessica Lebron had issues with her menstrual cycle.
I think it began like 15 years ago, maybe right before I started running. It was just like very painful periods and not knowing like what was happening with my body. I had my period one time for like almost like 22 days. I was just becoming extremely anemic, and to the point that like I was needing a blood transfusion.
In her 30s, the Boricua mom of one was diagnosed with uterine fibroids, just like her mother, who had also suffered from them.
When I was a teenager, she would have also heavy menstrual periods. She had fibroids, her body was going through this, and then like how I can connect that with myself. Not having the knowledge, because my mom didn't really talk about it. She was just having a surgery and then that was it.
According to a study published in the Journal of American Medical Association, uterine fibroids disproportionately affects Latinas, And while its exact cause is not fully understood, some research suggests various factors like genetics, race and ethnicity, and lifestyle choices can increase risk.
Fibroids are very, very common in our community. Fibroids are actually benign tumors, non-cancerous tumors that form either outside, within, or inside the uterus. A lot of women have fibroids and not everyone has symptoms. But the women that have symptoms, they can be really debilitating symptoms. It can be anywhere from irregular bleeding, heavy bleeding, abnormal spotting. Fibers can differ in different sizes. You can have painful periods. You can also have abdominal pain, pelvic pain, pain with sexual activity, so many other symptoms as well.
Treatments vary based on each individual.
Can fibroids be cured?
If you actually get the fibroid removed, you may have a chance for a new fibroid to grow. So they cannot 100% be cured. If you have a hysterectomy in which the uterus is removed, then there's no way of you having fibroids again.
Jessica explored every possible option to manage her symptoms and ultimately opted to do a hysterectomy, which had both physical and emotional implications.
The grief that comes with the surgery, I didn't think about having children. It's like, it's off the table. I think it added to my depression, added to like my definitely grieving like my body.
Another issue that could impact a Latina's reproductive health, both physically and mentally, is PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. The condition can also create irregular periods and infertility.
PCOS unfortunately cannot be cured. Having a healthy nutrition and constant regular exercise can actually decrease all the potential consequences that untreated polycystic ovarian syndrome can impact in your life, like being affected by obesity, having high blood sugars later on in life.
According to the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, PCOS affects 1 in 10 women in the United States and twice as many Latinas. Montoya encourages Latinas to discuss their menstrual issues with each other and their medical provider.
We need to encourage overall women to have these conversations, as embarrassing as it sounds, or as it may be for someone in the 40s or in the 50s to actually have the first conversation with their kids or even with a provider.
For Latinas, I'm Elena Romero.
Undocumented immigrants nationwide are facing unique challenges that are significantly impacting their mental health. Angela Mondragon is one Latina who has turned her struggles into purpose. Let's take a look.
My name is Angela Mondragon, and I came to the United States when I was 8 years old. We were fleeing the economic collapse of Peru. To be honest, we came here with nothing. My father would sleep on the floor. We would move from room to room. Like, we had no stability. And I think that's also created part of my depression. So I was like, I don't want to have that for the rest of my life, right? I want to have stability. I want to have a home. I want to have something that's mine. So I got married and we just kept going on about our life. I knew that he had some misdemeanors in his past, but I didn't know the extent or what those bad things were or how that would affect my life in the future. So he had stolen from, I think the store doesn't even exist anymore. I hired a lawyer in New Jersey who took us to the courthouse, and he said, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be in and out. And the judge is like, okay, case dismissed. The case was closed. And then as soon as we're walking out of the courthouse, there's 2 immigration officers there. And he said, Miguel Vidal? And Miguel's like, yes. And he's like, turn around, you're under arrest. You have an order of deportation. So what they did was they took him to the ICE holding in Newark. And Miguel calls me and he says, Angela, I'm on the plane. Please calm down, just take care of the baby. and I just fell to the floor, and my mom was there, and she had to hold me. Chloe was 3 months, and so after a few days, I realized like I'm not doing well in terms of my depression, so I'm thinking of giving up Chloe for adoption. I'm gonna give her up because I can't raise my daughter if I'm working and I'm paying for lawyers and I'm paying for babysitter and I'm paying for diapers and I'm paying for this and I'm sending money to Peru. I can't. And so they said, don't give her up and we're gonna help you. That's the only way I was able to keep my daughter. She would stay at my parents. So in terms of Miguel, I had to send him $20, $50. We did that for like 3 years. So by that time, I had already given up my apartment. I had already lost my job. I was gonna kill myself. Like I had decided that like the pain was just so great that there was just no point in continuing. But then the only thing that held me back was my daughter because my mom didn't raise me. She left. So I know the pain of not having a mom. So I said, well, now I have two options. If I'm not gonna kill myself, I'm gonna either go to Peru and be with my husband, or I'm gonna check myself into a psychiatric hospital. And so when I started to realize that Chloe needed help, I searched for therapy for her. So she goes to therapy once a week. So she has a very, very real issue that I'm gonna abandon her. The other thing is, she would ask for her dad constantly. Where's my father? Why is he in Peru? Why can't we be together? I think that in this time, in this environment where people are so anti-immigrant and so anti-this and so anti-that, what's missing in our immigration system is more humanity, but don't despair. Because even though you think you're in the bottom of a hellhole and you're dying, you're gonna be okay. Women are much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. Like we are resilient creatures, and whether we have children or not, like we survive.
This past year, we've seen the price of eggs go sky high, but you can get eggs for free if you raise your own chickens. Our lifestyle expert, Rose Cruz, is about to tell us how.
My husband and I have been raising chicks since 2016, and it's a great way to source in our own organic eggs. It's not complicated as you think, so let me show you how. First, you have to get your chicks. You could get them from local farmers, chain stores, or even online. But first, you have to make sure that they are hens. They are the ones that will give you the eggs. For example, in the past, I got about 32 chicks. From the 32 chicks, about 18 were roosters. What a waste of time. The next thing you need to do is buy chicken feed. It's a starter feed to grow your chicks to become more mature. And then later on, they will lay their first eggs for you. Keep in mind that your baby chicks have to be kept indoors in a brooder box. It could be made out of carton or wood, any source you have. But you keep them there until they are 6 to 8 weeks old or until you see their feathers come out. That's when you can transition from the indoors to the outdoor coop. It's good to have their feeding bed. You could have hay thrown all over, which makes them warmer during the winter. I also have a heating lamp because chickens, they need to be kept warm. So you also have to make sure that you change the water daily, as well as you can give them treats like vegetables like carrots, cabbage, tomatoes, strawberries, blueberries, any scraps left over. You can give them rice and beans as well. After all, they can be Latinas. Depending how many chickens you can have at least 8 to 12 eggs per day. Each hen can lay 1 to 2 eggs a day. So per week, you will have plenty of eggs. Well, the best thing about chickens is that they are so docile and so sweet. You can actually pick them up, handle and caress them as well. They love being touched. So I know a lot of you are saying, but you're in the country, but guess what? You in the city can also raise your chicks too. Just check the website below. And you too can be saving your money if you raise your own chicks and get your own organic eggs. And if you want to learn more, just ask Rose.
That's our show for today. For more information on what you just saw, check out our website at tv.cuny.edu and follow our social media profiles. We even have a CUNY TV app now where you can watch us anytime, anywhere, on the go. So definitely check it out and download it. And please make sure you tune in later this summer because we have 2 specials coming your way. Uepa! Hasta la próxima. Bye-bye.